Alistair, do you see that the DUP are under any pressure?
Well, they may be under pressure, but it's not pressure to which they can succumb, because to operate the current stormont in the protocol circumstances is to accept that never again will Northern Ireland be a full part of the United Kingdom, is to accept the ruling of the High Court in Belfast in Rooney against Poots, that any executive and its ministers must implement the Irish Sea border, must implement foreign-made laws. So what the invitation to unionism is to be part of a stormont which is making Northern Ireland an EU colony where much of our laws, particularly affecting our economy, are not made in Belfast or London, but are made in a foreign place. Now, I don't think any self-respecting person who cares about Northern Ireland's place within the United Kingdom can accept that detachment, can accept colonial rule. And I did find it highly ironic that Americans, of all people, who fought a war of independence against colonial rule, it should be urging upon Northern Ireland that we should submit ourselves to EU diktat. We should allow our economy to be shaped by laws we don't make and can't change, and should become a colony of the EU. So to me, it's an issue of the sovereignty of the United Kingdom and an issue of the integrity of the Union. And, you know, we know it from the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court, that the fundamental economic building block of the Union, namely Article 6, is in suspension. Why? Because the protocol overrules it, and the protocol puts us under foreign rule. So for all those reasons, I don't see any possibility of anyone who claims to be unionist in inclination and determination accepting a situation where they should become protocol patsies and implementers and implement the destruction of the United Kingdom.
Alistair, just finally to you, what happens if the DUP wait until after the election and then go back? What do you think? What do you think that would be? The reaction would be in unionism to that?
Well, I think any unionist-minded voter who's concerned by the protocol and the Irish Sea border and the fact that we're now under colonial rule by the EU, by laws we can't change, would be very concerned by the suggestion that you would have an election taking one particular stance, and then once it's over, take a different stance. I would have thought that would grossly undermine
what they're saying at the moment is that they're working on it. They're saying we want to get it right, and they're working on it. So
yes, but both before and after the election, the question is very straightforward. Are you, as a unionist politician, as a unionist minister, prepared to implement an Irish Sea border, because that's what the High Court says you must do? Are you prepared to implement laws you don't make and can't change? Are you prepared to be a colonial patsy of the EU? Okay. Now, that question won't have changed the morning after the election. Right. If the attitude of some has, then that's a reflection on them. But one thing's for sure, no one has any doubt about where my party stands on these issues. If they have a doubt about where others stand, then maybe that should dictate how they give their first preference.
Going to have to leave it there. But thank you both very much indeed.